Hi, Jenny. I've been leaving everybody in the waiting room. I'm sorry to
Hello.
say I've had some logging in issues today.
Good morning,
Um,
everyone.
but here we are. I'll just bring up my team and your team and just do the little behind the scenes. I'm going to click on, if you'd like to do our intro proper, I will click on live on custom live streaming service and we're ready to go now. Yay.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jenny Walk from Elephant in the Room Consulting, and it's Friday, which means it's bite-sized conversations with my digital BFF, Kylie Mowbray Allen from Hello Media. Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, Jenny. How are you going?
I am amazing today. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful day here in Brisbane. Well, not really, it's cloudy, but we get to chat. So, what else is there to worry about?
Yeah, totally. I love it. So, Jenny, I'm excited today that we're going to be talking about your superpower statement and how to write one and how to share it and where to share it. And I've actually talked about that a lot this week. I spoke on, was it Wednesday night? I think I was asked to speak at a fair trade organization event about that was very fun, about sharing how to share your story. And clearly with fair trade businesses, it's really important for them to be sharing their why they go with fair trade and what they do. And luckily for me, it's a topic I'm really passionate about. So and my last e-commerce business was fair trade, so I was totally in my zone there and I loved it. And so really fun for me that we're also talking about that same topic today. So really looking forward to that. But first of all, tell me, how's your week been?
I've had a really good week. We've had lots of really cool things with the business. We hired we've almost 2.5 times our staff in a week. So we've got an amazing new staff member starting to help support one of my clients with their business. And then we've also got our own new essentially web developer VA who's helping us out because we're growing our websites and growing our own business. So we've decided to find some new support. So I'm very excited. Brian joins our team on Monday and I cannot wait.
It's so exciting. We also had a new staff member join on Monday.
It must be the week for it. Oh, and we've got Kelsey hopefully starting next Wednesday too. So that's kind of cool. But it seems to be the time. It seems to be the time. Like a lot of people at this time of year in business go, oh, it's getting towards the end of the year. Let's just wait out and see what happens before we decide to hire anyone new. And I made the decision, this is the perfect time to grow because in the next couple of months, I'm focusing on what I want to do in 2022. And if I have somebody on board now to help me, it means that we can grow quicker and faster and so much more efficiently than if I waited these 2.5 months to get that support.
Absolutely. It's definitely an interesting thing, isn't it? Because there's a little bit of nervousness, I think, around a new hire, particularly when they're full-time. Like it's a big commitment, it's a big financial commitment. For me, also a big part of it is that my team and I then don't operate on full capacity for a little while because, of course, we've got all the onboarding and the training, and this new staff member that we've got coming on isn't trained in what we would normally be going for, but she just feels like the right fit. And then of course being able to train her up to suit the way that you need feels like a good thing, but of course that takes time and energy and all of that. So
well, it's beautiful because it subscribes to my view is that you hire for fit and then you train them in how you need to, because anybody can learn the skills. If there's a fit and the connection, there's an interest and a desire to help you grow your business or help you build your team or whatever it is you want to deliver in terms of the impact you want to make, that's the biggest thing. It's hardest to train that. If somebody doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to work, doesn't like you as a person, and doesn't fit with your values as a business, then it doesn't matter how many skills they have or how great they are at their job, they're just not going to work out. So having that hire for fit first is such a great methodology to have, particularly when we're in this day and age where, getting really good talent is getting a lot harder.
Absolutely, and particularly for you and I, where we're largely a virtual team, so or a remote team. So we're not in the office together every day, all day, and so making sure that that person that's joining your team is committed, but they're also really good at time management and self-management, etc. And all of that. So
definitely,
yes, it's exciting times for us both. And yay.
But you were going to share a new little toy with me this week, or something that some little technology that you were looking at before we get into superpower statements or superhero statements.
Yes, and you too. So you go first, Jenny.
Well, I have a funny little toy, which everyone knows that I absolutely love notebooks. I'm an old school notebook person. I like to write down. It actually helps me my brain work. And about a year ago, I got introduced to this amazing product called a Remarkable. And I was like, oh, do I want it? Do I not do it? It's not the same. And then I saw a colleague of mine about 3 weeks ago, and she had one of the new Remarkable 2s. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get it. So Remarkable is a Remarkable because it's a digital notebook. And what I love about this is it's connected to the internet, so I can email myself files to read. I can read ebooks to it. I can connect it to Google Drive. So if there's documents I want to review or edit and I need to share, I can do that. But there is no anything else except a notebook on it. So there's no buzzing from social media. There's no, alerts or notifications. So when I go to a meeting, I sit with my notebook and I write. So it actually writes like a notebook. And I have terrible handwriting. However, looking it upside down, it has a beautiful feel, and it actually just writes like a notebook. So I can scribble, I can draw, I can do my crazy thought bubbles on paper, but I feel like I have this beautiful notebook. So it was, as I've spent 12 months deciding it. I saw someone and went, I need to buy one. It's called the Remarkable 2, and it is honestly remarkable. It comes from Norway, or it's a Norway company or Norwegian company that actually developed it, and it's just beautiful. So it's my new toy, and I'm loving playing with it.
That's so awesome and so interesting that my share also is to do around the notebook. However, mine is a little more old school, and I've actually been using it for quite a few years, and my daughter uses her one for school, but I've got different sizes and stuff. So I'm going to share that one. So this one is actually the Rocket Book, and there's different kinds that you can go for. I think there's about 4. My one's the Everlast. It looks just like a black A4 notebook. However, in here, you can't really see, but anyway, it's got all these different little symbols on it. And so I can assign the symbols so when I scan that one, it's going to go straight into Dropbox. If I scan that one, it's going to go straight into Google Drive. But what's so cool is that this is the one and only notebook that I need. So as long as I'm using one of the friction ball pens, then, and they're the ones that you can rub out as well. So write, then rub. But then I just scan the little QR code down the bottom, and it goes straight up into the whichever
amazing
that I've circled. And then when I'm finished it off, I just grab the cloth that it comes in, wet it, wipe it all down, and I have a blank page ready to start again.
That is incredible. So there's 2 different ways of doing exactly the same thing, but you have an actual pen. I have the same thing, but in a digital form, because we love that connection with writing. I think you and I, as most of we love doing online and we love efficiency, there's something about the tangibility of writing a note, drawing a picture. And, when we're doing Zoom calls with my clients, I always use the Microsoft whiteboard because it's so much more interactive than the Zoom whiteboard. Sorry, Zoom, but it is. And it allows me to do so many more things. But now that I have this, I can do the same thing and then send it to wherever I need to send it. So that is awesome. I'm loving it. I'm going to have a look at Rocket Book because I love that idea too.
So fun. And you can also get little attachments so that you can put the pen on the side to, carry it around. So I've taken it overseas with me, all kinds of different ways. There's one issue, and that is that my daughter used hers for school the first time, and they're not cheap. They're like $100 or something around that. She used hers the first time at school. She had all the notes. She had all the correct pens that you could then erase. The teachers came along with their big pens, wrote a note there, went tick there, blah, 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 blah. And she just sat there in horror. And then whatever we've tried to get rid of it, we can't. They're not the right pens. And so they kind of stuffed it.
Oh,
so
no.
That you get those friction ball pens. And that what I love about those too is that there's pinks and blues and purples and greens. And, I like to make things colourful.
Me too. That is awesome. I love it.
Really, really clever, that one. That little bit of technology.
Welcome to Bite-Sized Technology Tips today.
Maybe we can share a tip every day, every week.
I like it.
We're both always finding new platforms, and we just had our Passionate Businesswomen's meetup last night. And what I do at the beginning of each of the meetup, after everybody's done their introductions, is then I talk around about 5 different new platforms or apps or something that I've discovered lately. And want to share. And so, yeah, I really love getting hearing from other people what they're using, etc. So
Yeah,
maybe
definitely.
we could introduce that, Jenny, that we chat about some of the things that we.
I love it. I love that idea.
We bring a new toy every time.
We bring a new toy. We can do that.
So let's chat about our superpower statement or superhero statement or elevator pitch. There's so many different ways. What words have you heard that?
Pitch, elevator pitch. There's the kind of, my your sales pitch or your kind of intro statement, or just like you're about can you stand up and tell us a little bit about you, like that statement. So I use the superpower statement for all those engagements. Anytime you need to talk about you and share your story, essentially.
In a bite-sized kind of a way.
In a bite-sized way.
The problem, and one of the things that I say when I ask everybody to do their intros in our meetups is because when you don't have a time limit on it, then some people will do 5 seconds. So actually you're not really hearing about them or what they do and how they help people. The other people will try and ramble on for 10 minutes. Yes, it's very interesting, but it's actually not what it's about, which is about how do you confidently introduce yourself, share what you do, how you help people, and just get it out and actually having it succinct so that you know what you're going to say and you haven't got that kind of awkward moment. So I have a few little ways around how I do it, but the first bit is that we always start with an I, and I actually have a fillable PDF that I can share with everybody. You just need to let us know your email address and we'll send it off to you because it's a fairly sizable file with it being a fillable PDF. So if you're listening and you want it, then send us a private message. If you're watching on Facebook, etc., where with leaving your email address, or if you know that we've already got your email address, just type yes in the comments, and we'll get that out to you today. So, but Jenny, what about you? Tell me how you work on a superhero statement or a superpower statement.
I have a slightly different approach to it. I actually want people to really think about 3 aspects. So for many people who've heard us talk, I have a 3-word exercise. And so the 3-word exercise is essentially 3 questions, and we want you to do 3 words with each of those questions. So the first one is 3 words that describe you. And then so we ask people to think about 3 words that describe you. So I might say coach, businesswoman, and I might say a little bit crazy, right? Or manic, or a bit nuts, like complete, doesn't matter what the words are, any words that come to you.
Can we do it as an exercise and you do it on me?
Okay, we can do this. Let's do the 3 words with you. So the first words is 3 words that describe you.
I'm going to say passionate, loyal, and loud.
Love. Passionate, loyal, and loud. And then we ask 3 words that describe what you do.
I coach, I share, and I teach.
Coach, share, and teach. And then 3 words that describe what you want to be known for.
Abundance, generosity,
and
knowledge sharing.
I'll give you that because we'll hyphenate it. So we have passionate, loyal, and loud. We have coach, share, and teach. And we have abundance, generosity, and knowledge sharing. So from those statements, what we can do is we can actually create big sentences and we talked about us page last week, or we can create a very simple 3-step response. So if I was that and I had this for you, I would say, hi, everyone, I'm Kylie. I'm a passionate, vibrant, because I'm going to add vibrant in there because I just think that's very much you. A passionate, vibrant coach who loves to share. Actually, I'm going to change it. I'm doing this on the fly, as you can see. We haven't practiced this. I am Kylie. I'm a digital marketing coach who's passionate about sharing my knowledge with others. I live and dream about abundance and generosity, and I do that and show that through knowledge sharing. So I'm here today to talk to you about whatever it is. So I would bring those together. That was a really kind of not the best one I've done, but essentially those 3 words or those 9 words allow us to create something. So I'm a coach who's passionate about sharing and teaching others information about digital marketing, because you want to put in a little bit about what you do. I have value or passionate around abundance and generosity, or abundance and generosity very much for me shows up as knowledge sharing, because that says that there's so much information in the world that actually part of growing our information is about sharing our knowledge. So I would connect abundance with knowledge sharing 100%. So that's kind of how I do my superhero statement.
I love it, Jenny. I love it so much. And I love that you had the pressure of being put on the spot.
I know. Oh my God.
It was something awesome. That was super fun.
But it's a fun way of getting people to, I like doing it this way, because so often we get so serious about it. Like we had the questions last week and the last couple of weeks about the About Us page, and people get so serious about talking about themselves. And then they get kind of analysis paralysis, because they're like, what should I say? And should I say this? And what is my story? And I go, just ask some questions to yourself about who you are, and then bring those together into 2 or 3 sentences that they are describing your essence, and that's going to help people connect with you. If you want to add in a little bit more, that's cool, but it starts the process.
I love it. Describing your essence so the right people connect with you. I think that's a fabulous. That should be a new Jenny meme. Or Jenny
okay.
That's wonderful. So mine is also 3 questions. So mine is all about, who do you help? What do they have now? What do they want? But then how do you help them achieve it? So I'll give you a little example. So when we do the who I help, I help entrepreneurs and business owners. What they have now is they feel overwhelmed and stuck. What they want is to uncomplify their business by teaching them how to grow and get visible. And how? Well, I use digital marketing. So if I was to do it quickly, it would be, I help entrepreneurs and business owners who feel overwhelmed and stuck to uncomplify their business, or you could say simplify if you don't like a silly made up word, to uncomplify their business by teaching them how to grow and get visible using digital marketing. And then I can even shorten that and simplify that even more with, I help businesses get visible online. I'm Kylie and I build brands. Obviously, we can switch that around, et cetera, et cetera. There's very many ways to do it, but it's in there in the fillable PDF if anybody wants it. So again, just pop your email address in there, or send through your, in a private message or something if you're listening or watching on live, or if you're listening later on as the podcast or on YouTube, then let us know. Me, Kylie at hellomedia.team is the email address. And Jenny, I will send that one to you as well.
Please. What I love about that, and we've talked about this before, is that when we talk about pitch statements, and we like calling them superpower statements, and I remember, I think it was very, very early on. In fact, I think it was the first weekend of lockdown for COVID when we did this with your meetup at February or March last year. I think it was February last year, which is maybe around that time, maybe the second one, I can't remember, but it was a long time ago. And we did this. And what I love about this is that when we talk about superhero and we're talking about pitch statements, so often it's that kind of, I'm just going to share what I'm doing. But I like people, and I love the term essence, because I want people to stand there and when they're developing it, go, I own the piece of ground that I'm standing on or sitting on if I'm in a chair, or if I'm on Zoom, I own this little moment in time. And because we want to create that superpower statement, we want them to feel empowered by being able to share that moment. And it's not just about telling a pitch. And how many times have you been to a networking event and people who've got their pitch so refined and so specific that it sounds like a robot could do it? It's like, I do this, I am helping you, and please, if you want to, like, that is not engaging. It might be perfect, it might be eloquent, it might have all the right aspects, but if it has no passion, if it has no connection, if it's not truthful and not showing up as you, then there's no point. Like, absolutely. It's not going to actually connect.
Your authentic voice in it. So regularly relook at it, regularly revisit what you're saying. And, as a business evolves, so do we as humans, etc. So rewriting it every few months is a great exercise, I think, and finding new ways to share what you do.
And I think also because a lot of our stuff now is on Zoom and we don't get those sidebar conversations when we're face to face. Like if you're having a meetup and you get people walking to get a drink or walking to get a snack or sitting down and, they get up to walk to the bathroom together, there's little conversations that happen that allow us to build connection. But when we're doing Zoom every month, and like your meetup yesterday, if you're turning up with exactly the same pitch every month, people actually stop listening. It's not that they don't want to listen to you, and it's not that they're not engaged in the workshop or the conversation. It's that they go, I know what you're going to say. Every month you stand up and you tell us, so much so that I can tell you what you do. And then people start to disengage. And that's actually a problem when you're trying to build trust, because you want to build it over time. So for me, that idea of revisiting it every so often allows you to sprinkle it with something new. So you're talking about, when you talk about what you do in terms of uncomplifying and how you help them through digital marketing, there's different ways you can say that. And I've heard you do that. And there's different words that you use, whether it's uncomplify, whether it's simplify, whether it's, I use the term my brain stopped then, is untangle the mess of business, right? All saying the same things, but they're just different ways to say it. And so people go, oh, and untangling is actually how I'm feeling today. I feel like I need a bit of untangling. Or, my God, my world seems very complex. I love this uncomplify, because that makes me feel like it's a bit fun and I can relax. And so I think it's important to revisit it so that you're still not only sharing it with the right audience, but that you still cut through every time you share it.
I definitely agree. And last week we talked about that, excuse me, that about us story and rewriting that. And I have to say, I put it on my to-do list, but clearly I didn't use your matrix properly, because I wanted it to be a priority for my week this week, and I haven't done it. So I'm going to rewrite my do first matrix for next week and put it there on my Monday job, because
you've got 2 more times to move it. Remember that.
Yes, there you go. So it needs an overhaul. And because, as I said last week, we need to keep it fresh all the time. And so I've got to also practice what I preach. So it needs a little freshen up, and making sure that it's not just that. And the same with your superpower statement. It doesn't need to be a CV. It's actually all about the essence of who you are and what you do and how you help people.
Exactly. And it's funny when in this conversations, I think maybe because it's front of mind for us at the moment, as my business is growing, as people may know, I have a consulting side of my business, and I have a more kind of business coaching side of my business. And as one of those have grown, the consulting piece has grown, I'm finding that my content on my website is actually resonating more to the consulting piece and no longer resonates as much to the coaching piece. So one of the big programs that we're doing and piece of work we're doing is about how do we actually reinvent that? How do we reposition that? Because that's part of growing the business and saying, well, I do still do the coaching. We run great, amazing programs, and they're 6-month and retreat programs, which we love to deliver. But because all of a sudden this consulting piece has gone crazy, we've kind of neglected that. And so not that we've changed the way we coach, but we've just neglected the way we share it, because we are all so busy focusing on our clients, we forget to focus on ourselves. And that's one of the biggest challenges of being a business owner, is prioritizing our business and prioritizing the promotions and the engagement and the website stuff that we have to deliver, which is essentially why you have an amazing business, because we're so focused on delivering for our clients.
But I totally agree with you that we're not spending the amount of time and effort we need to be on sharing what we do either, because you're so wound up in creating that content for others and that content for your, for our masterclasses and all that kind of stuff. Yep. So I was just thinking as you were talking, our YouTube channel does well with our bite-sized conversations, recordings being up there. But actually then I don't post about that again after they're up and say, hey, if you missed us live or you missed the blah, 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 make sure you jump over to YouTube and watch it. Or if you're somebody that prefers, listening in and you listen as you're going on a walk or something, then jump onto the podcast, etc. So definitely I'm guilty of that, is not sharing enough about the stuff you've already done.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's where the superpower statement can also be used, because if we're thinking about it, yes, there's a pitch, but you can also change and say, hey guys, I've been here, you've heard my pitch for the last 9 months. Love being here. You know that I'm a coach and you know that I do digital marketing. But did you also know that I've had this amazing opportunity to do this? So you can actually use it and frame it to say, I'm just going to really throw in the fact that I'm a coach and a digital marketer, or that I'm a coach and a business strategist. And then I say, but you know what? What I've done recently is had this amazing opportunity to work with this client. So rather than talk about me, I'm going to talk about them for 50 seconds and let you know the type of things that I do and the cool stuff I get to play with. So all of a sudden, I'm actually giving you a testimonial through my superhero statement or superpower statement. But it's doing it in a way that's actually resonating with people. And they're like, wow, that sounds really cool. I want to learn more about how they do that. And so I think we always think of the superhero statement about, I need to share who I am, what I do. But if we think about that piece of what do you want to be known for, it's a great place to put in a little testimonial, essentially, or case study, or just a bite-sized piece to say, I had this really cool opportunity to spend time with a client and it's blown my mind. And if you're that client, if you work in that space and want to do that, come and work with me because I want to do this every day.
Jenny, I totally agree. And the superpower statement can be, you can have so many variations of it. So a short snippet that you can say in 10 seconds, a longer version you can say in 30, or a longer version that you can say in 3 minutes, because there's so many different ways, different times and different places that you can be sharing it. But I'm going to put out a challenge to everybody today to write that superpower statement. I'm just going to put in also your variation or your version of it, Jenny, into that fillable PDF. And we've got everybody's email addresses coming in now. So we'll get that out there. So it's got your one, my one. I'm also adding in there a way to be writing your mission statement or your business vision.
Amazing.
As well, which is a really fun one to work on. So then that can come out to you guys, so you can do all the variations of it, Jenny's one, my one, etc., and then come up with something and then put it out there with a post and do a selfie of yourself, or do that was a weird word, selfie of yourself. Hello, of course it is, but do a photo, or a photo that really represents who you are. It doesn't necessarily need to be a selfie. So put it out there as your visibility challenge of the day, and with your superpower statement, because remember, not everybody always knows exactly what you do. So put it on your personal Facebook, put it on your Instagram business, put it on your LinkedIn, for example, and it's like a little reintroduction of who you are and what you do.
And I think that's such an important thing to do, is that we can write these things and we do it in a closed Facebook group, or we do it in a closed networking event, or we go to a breakfast event and we stand up and share what it is. But it's actually, how do we share it beyond that? And our About Us page is a way of doing that. But also think of your superhero statement as something that you would do on the front page of your website. So if you want to showcase yourself on the front page of your website, you can have your superhero statement there as the short bite size, and the learn more then takes you to your About Us page or your About You page, where you can actually share your story and have that broader conversation. So think of this as the introduction. Think of this as that really lovely kind of, when you turn the back of a book and you're reading the first little piece and go, oh, do I want to know more? That's what we're writing. We want people to say, I'm interested in what they just said. Tell me more about that. So when you're talking about how you're helping digital marketers, people get more confident and be visible online, I'm like, tell me more about how you do that. That's really what we want. We want to put people through. Yeah, we do. Exactly. It's about being curious. It's such a funny word, isn't it? Curiosity. We never think about being curious. We talk about open mind and we talk about learning, but really it's about curiosity, finding new ways to share and learn and connect. And that's what your superpower and superhero statement does. It enables people to lean into what you want to do, or what you're doing, sorry.
Absolutely, Jenny. So I'm running a visibility workshop today. It's part of my Let's Get Visible workshop series. This is the second one. There's one per month. And this one is all about video and getting visible on video, which is exciting. So it's interesting you brought up about adding testimonials and things, because that's actually part of the bit that I was just writing about, is the importance of when you share a story about how you're able to help somebody else, then it makes a whole lot more sense to someone. They can put it in context, and it also helps them trust you more, because people, of course, always believe more what other people say than necessarily what you say about yourself.
And one of the ones that I use, I had one of my favorite clients who I've worked with for very many years, and she's a very close friend of mine. When she wrote a testimony for me, she called me the lemonade maker, and I was like, oh, I like that, because it makes people, it's about being funny. It's not just about kind of, I am a good coach. It's actually saying she had lemons and she didn't know what to do with it, so I helped her make lemonade from her lemons. And I love that, because it's quirky, and people relate to that. It's human, it's real, and it's not, I mean, it actually sounds like something a marketer would have made up, but she made it up because that's how she felt. And all of a sudden people can connect with you more because there's somebody else showing, this is how I feel about you.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, Jenny. That has been so good to chat with you today about the superpower statement. And it actually made me think, for what we're discussing at the beginning, how about we talk about next week about getting ready, or how do you know when it's time to bring on someone into your team?
Yes.
Prepare for a team member.
Yeah. When is it right to grow?
When is it? You did a beautiful job of that. When is it right to grow? I love that. So yeah, good topic for next week, do you think?
I think it's a great idea. Definitely let's have a chat about that.
Cool. I look forward to it. So I hope you guys can join us next Friday morning, 9:15 New South Wales time, 8:15 for Queensland time. And otherwise, of course, if you can't catch us live, listen in on the podcast or watch it on the YouTube, on Jenny's channel, my channel. What's your YouTube channel, Jenny? How do they find you?
Just Elephant in the Room is the best way to find us on YouTube. It's all of ours are at Elephant in the Room AU. Make it easy for everyone to find us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram.
Cool. Same for me. hellomedia.team. The only one that's different is on Facebook. It's hellomedia.dreamteam. But we'll give you the Zoom link in very shortly if anybody wants to join the video workshop, which starts in 5 minutes. So
I better let you go.
I get very excited about this topic of workshop. So
amazing.
I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much for doing bite size with me every week, because I love it so much.
Love it too. You have a great weekend. We'll chat to you soon.
You too. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.